Hi guys, I am excited for this sewing video. It truly is for beginners. I'm going to show you how to make just a simple gift bag. We're going to do a tote bag. We're going to do a few other projects. So let's get started. The first project is so easy and simple. It's just one piece of fabric. We're making this gift bag right here on the right. And let me put up the cutting measurements for you. You're going to cut a rectangle, and it's going to be 7.5 inches by 18, and then a piece of ribbon that is 20 inches long. So you will see I folded this up just so that I could make the cut. And now we are going to sew these two sides together. Oh, wait a second. We're going to actually attach the ribbon. So let me unfold this really quickly. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to measure we're going to measure 2 inches down, and we're just going to find the middle. So if you don't have one of these acrylic rulers, another thing that you can do to find the middle is just fold it in half and then mark 2 inches down. This is the step that makes this gift bag project so quick and easy, because we're not going to sew a casing for the ribbon, but just trust me, it will look just fine. So this is where we're going to measure out our 20-inch length for the ribbon, and I'm going to find I'm just measuring it out right here. And then find the middle, and you can attach it. I'm just going to add a few needles right here, and then I'm going to sew it in the middle where I had marked that, and it's just going to be one little line, so just a few stitches, and I'm going to do some back stitches as well. And then after the ribbon is sewn in place, I'm going to sew down both sides of the bag, but keeping the ribbon out of the stitches. Okay, so I'm going to fold the ribbon in, and I'm going to stitch both sides, and also you're going to want to make sure to back stitch. And I'm also using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. That's generally the seam allowance you would use if you're a quilter. And you can see right here that I cut this out using my pinking shears, which makes the zigzag cut out. That way I don't have to do a zigzag stitch. The pinking shears will keep it from fraying. So if you don't have pinking shears, make sure that you do a zigzag stitch along the seam line, which will keep the fabric from fraying. Now I have to get rid of this top raw edge. So I'm going to fold it in, take it to my ironing board, and iron it down and fold it again. So you'll see right here it's going to measure about 1/2 of an inch for each fold. So now I'm just going to sew down the seam. We can take the arm off, or I'm actually going to put it in my machine like this, and I'm going to sew down that fold line, the edge. So basically what we are doing is hemming the bag. If you are a beginner sewer, then you're going to want to put the bag in this way so that you can see the hemline. But now we are done, and it is ready to be filled with a few of our favorite things to give to our favorite people for their birthday or just any special occasion. Okay, can you believe how quick this was? So I don't even think it's necessary to sew that casing in. We've got this in the back. This is what it looks like in the front, just to give you an idea of what you can fill it with, like candies, treats. This right here, I have an eye mask that I'll put into it. This can be like a really cute friend gift. Here's some scrunchies that I bought, although I would prefer to sew them up. And then let's pretend that this right here is like an Ulta gift card. You can place that in your gift bag as well. And we will tie the ribbon up really quickly. I also added this really cute embroidery label because I do machine embroidery as well. And so I added that cute little tag there that says "Be happy." How cute is this? Like, wouldn't you be so proud to give this to your friend and be like, yeah, I made it?
And if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and keep watching. Thank you.
Okay, let's move right into the next project. We're going to make a tote bag. This one is going to be super simple for beginners. You don't need a lining for this one. It is just going to be one piece and then you have the two straps. For a lot of these projects, these pinking shears are very helpful in taking care of the raw edges. You're gonna also be very tempted to use your pretty fabrics, but I do want to encourage you to use some scrap fabrics as you are practicing your sewing and doing different sewing patterns. A Goodwill shop is a great place to go, although I would recommend washing those fabrics first because you never know if maybe like did a cat like give birth on it.
For this tote bag, you're going to want to cut a rectangle that measures 15 by 17
and
inches.
2
strips of fabric that are 3 by 21 inches for the straps. Now I'm going to fold the right sides together and sew down both sides. And on the straps, I'm going to get rid of the raw edges by folding it in to get the middle. And then I'll fold it in again and again. Then I will iron it down and sew it shut. So now I'm at my sewing machine and I'm just going to sew along that edge to sew the straps shut so that it covers those raw edges. So I'm going to do this with both straps and I'll show you what it looks like. And now I am going to sew down on the opposite edge just to make it look, I don't know, it just makes it look nicer to sew it on both edges. So I'm just going to repeat this on the opposite edge, or the opposite side of the strap on both straps. Now I've got my bag and I'm just going to sew down both sides of the bag, and you can see I've used my pinking shears, and if you don't have pinking shears you're going to want to make your zigzag stitch, although you really should, I would strongly recommend sewing a zigzag stitch anyways to help reinforce the seams. And don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and at the end of sewing your bag. So here is what it looks like. I've got the fold down there. I've sewn the two sides and now I'm folding up the raw edge at the top of the bag. So I'm going to iron this down and then I'll fold it again and iron it down again. So now you will see it's about 3/4 of an inch of a fold. It's a double fold, and now I am putting the straps in there. The straps are getting tucked under the fold, and I'm just going to pin them down, and I'm going to sew along the edge of that hem. I call it a hemline. And right here you can see that I'm measuring it 3 inches from the edge. So on each edge, the strap is 3 inches away from the edge. Now I've extended my stitch length to a 3. Generally, I keep it at a 2.5, but we've got a few layers here, and I'm just going to stitch along this edge. I think getting closer to the edge makes it look really nice, so I just that's kind of your goal, is to stitch closest to the edge. And I've got my handles pinned down. Always do a back stitch when you're going over the handles. Now you see that the handles are facing down. We're going to face them up, and we're going to sew along the top edge now. So we're going to stitch around the entire bag again, but at the top of that binding, and we're going to catch those handles in it. Don't forget to backstitch when you come to the handles part, and then just keep on stitching. And if you are kind of making a mess of your bag, don't get discouraged. That's also kind of why I had made the comment about maybe using some scrap pieces of fabric until you get good at sewing and maneuvering the fabric around. So this is what it should look like. And I've got some more pictures right here to show you. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so cute. And look at how cute that label is. I just attached that to the front. I don't know why I put flowers in it. I'm just kind of excited about it. This is what the inside looks like. So it's just really clean finishes. And do you love how quick it was to make this up? This would be so cute to give somebody for their birthday. You can put some cute books in it, just whatever you'd like. Okay, sorry, I'm just having too much fun with this bag, but I guess we need to move on to the next project, which is going to be a lanyard. For the lanyard, you're going to cut one piece of felt, 1 by 44 inches. But remember, you can even use warm and natural, fleece, just anything that you'd like. And then you're going to cut the fabric 2.75 by 44 inches. So that's actually 2 3/4 inches by 44 inches in length. So a long strip of fabric. Right here, I'm ironing it in just to get the middle placement of my strip of fabric. I'm opening it up, and I'm going to place my felt in here just like this and iron over that piece of fabric, because our goal here is to get rid of this raw edge. So we're going to sew it all down in one step, but first we are pressing that piece down, and now we're going to press this piece in. It's about 1/4 of an inch measurement is what it comes to. And we're just folding that raw edge in, and then we're going to fold it again over this other side of fabric. And you're going to want to pin it really good. It's going to fit, so the fit of it is very precise. That's why you're going to want to iron it really good and pin it, or use your clips to hold it in place. And then we're just going to run it through the sewing machine. So I've got it lined up right along the edge. I'm going to extend my stitch length to a 3. Normally it's at a 2.5, but we're going to do a 3 stitch length and just sew this just be careful at this part. You might need to go slow, but we're trying to catch the fabric at the very edge of this strap. And this is what it should look like. And now we're going to stitch down the other side of the strap just to make it look more even. And I'm also going to sew one more stitch line down the middle so that it has kind of like a quilted look, or so it looks more like a strap. So the purpose of this middle stitch is purely just for looks. Okay, and I completely forgot to show you. I sewed the 2 straps together. There's my sew line right there. And I'm going to put some fray check on it just to prevent it from fraying, because we're going to put it in this hardware right here, and I don't want any little strings to pop out. So this is some fray check I'm putting on here. And the hardware I got just off of Amazon, and it came with these pliers. So it fits in here like this. That's why you want your strap to be 1 inch wide, because it will fit this specifically. And I've noticed that it's easier to put my hardware into the pliers and then put my strap into it that way. And then you just squeeze down on it really tight, and it's that easy. So this is such another very fast project to do. I'll put the link in the descriptions tab of the hardware. I really like this, and I've made key fobs before, and they really stay intact.
Okay, so I think this turned out really well. So now I'm going to put my badge on it, and then I have like a few other things that I need to put on it as well.
Next up is this charming pin cushion. All you need to do is cut 1 rectangle 4 by 7 3/4 inches. So 7.75 inches. And I feel like I need to add these labels to my website because they are making every project look completely adorable. Moving on, we're going to fold this in half and run it through the sewing machine, just sewing this side and that side, leaving an opening right here in the middle. And don't forget to backstitch. And so this is one side, and then this is going to be the top where we leave our opening because we're going to fill the pin cushion. So I left a gap, backstitch again, stitch to the end, pivot, and go down the side. Now, you're also probably going to want to do a zigzag stitch, which I forgot to do. I'm sorry, but it ended up turning out good anyways. So I clipped the corners here, and I'm going to turn it right sides out. This is such a tiny little project, you probably didn't need to clip those corners. Actually, since it is small, you do want to clip the corners. I'm using my crochet hook to expand out those corners. And look how cute it is already. That's where we're going to hand stitch it closed. Yes, I don't like hand stitching, but that's what we have to do when we make these pin cushions.
Now to fill our pincushion, I guess there's like a few different things that you can do. I keep this old pillow here and I just take the stuffing out of it. So it's just an easy way to store my stuffing. And so that's a good idea for you. So you don't have to go get the polyfill. If you have an old flat pillow, just keep it in your closet and you can use it for filling. So we're going to use that. And then we would need something to weigh down our pincushion. This is walnut shells. You can purchase this from Petco. You might think that that's very unusual, but just trust me, this is what people use to fill their pincushions.
Now I'm just going to start off with some polyfill, which is from my old pillow that I had. And I'm using my crochet stick, just try to find some type of stick so that you can maneuver it around. And what I'm doing is I'm placing this in the edges of my pincushion, and the idea is to place the walnut shells in the middle of the pincushion because I don't want the little tiny shells to leak out through the seams, which I don't know, it sounds logical to me. So I have this, I don't know what that's called, I'm lacking words right now. Funnel. It's a funnel, I think. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake, shake, shake and wiggle that down in there. And let's see here. There we go. And I'm going to continue to work on this because I don't like flat pin cushions. So the more I maneuver that in there, and I'm also working with getting that polyfill into the corners, it looks pretty full, but I'm still filling it with even more. Just trying to shove it into the corners because, like I said, I don't like a flat pin cushion.
Now, hand sewing is not my favorite thing to do, but this is the part where we're just going to hurry and quickly get this hand sewn up.
My eyesight is so bad, but I don't know, it's going to take me so long to try to get this needle threaded. I do have a magnifying glass. It's such a small project. I just want to hurry and get this hand stitching done. If I put it off, then I'll never get it done. Okay, now there's not really any method that I use. I'm just going to start in the middle of the opening right here, and then I work my way to one side. It just helps me to cover up the threads a little bit easier, but I don't have any specific technique that I'm using. So I'm sorry you can't see it very well, but really I'm just doing a basic in and out stitch just to get the opening closed. look at how cute this is turning out. I have decided I'm going to make these labels available. I'm just going to place them on my website because they make the pincushion so cute.
Okay, so I love this fabric for the pincushion so much, so I'm going to do a pillow cover. We're gonna do the fabric cover for a pillow that is an 18-inch square pillow. I figure that is like the most common pillow, you know, for couches. You hand me my couch pillow, the brown one. So I want to cover this couch pillow. It's an 18-inch square.
And we're going to make the pillow cover with just one piece of fabric. You're going to cut it 18.5 by 45 inches. And I'll meet you at my ironing board. So right here, I've got the side that is the 18.5 inches by width. And we're going to fold that in about 1/2 of an inch. And this is just to, we're hiding the raw edges again. So we're going to fold it in once and then fold it in again, and it should measure about 1/2 inch again. So fold it once for 1/2 inch and then again for another 1/2 inch. And really those measurements don't have to be precise. This is just to clean up the raw edges, and we're working with the short ends. So we're going to do this to both ends. And then we will take this to the sewing machine and sew it down on this end and the opposite end. And I'm going to extend my stitch length to a 3, and I'm just working along the edge, trying to get a straight, nice edge on this, what I would call, it's like a hemline that we are doing. And I'm going to do this to the opposite end as well. And this is what the hems will look like. Now we're going to lay it on a flat surface, and you're going to measure the width to be 18 inches. So you're just going to keep rolling your fabric until you make it 18 inches in your width. So this is what mine looks like, and I'm going to put my pins in because I'm going to sew this edge and this edge over here, and I'm going to backstitch on those areas. As I sew down the sides, you will see that there is that opening flap, so it's looking more like an envelope now. That's where we're going to slip our pillow form into. Make sure you're doing your back stitches at the beginning and the end, and also where the hems meet. So now I'm working on the other side, and after I do the straight stitches, you're gonna want to do a zigzag stitch on the seam as well, just to reinforce those stitches. So right here I'm showing you, I'm going to hurry and do a zigzag stitch. And the zigzag stitch is going to reinforce the seam, the stitches, as well as reduce some fraying. So that's what this looks like. And now it's done. Can you believe that? So now I'm just going to turn it right sides out, and it seems stuck. What is going on? Unless I did something wrong. Okay, there's actually a needle in here. Ouch. Okay, there's the needle. Okay, let me find my pillow, and we're going to put this in and see if it fits. And again, this is an 18-inch size. This one is a little bit thicker. If you buy a pillow form from Amazon, it's going to fit a lot better. This one already has that thick cover on it. But look at that, it fits like a glove. And it was so quick and easy to do.
Okay, now if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure that you check out my other sewing videos, and I really hope that you can fall in love with sewing as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy sewing. Bye guys.